Hi students, welcome back to a new class of analog electronics. Today we are going to discuss on feedback amplifier and oscillators. This particular module will cover two types of analog devices. One is feedback amplifier and another is oscillators. In this video, we will discuss about feedback amplifiers. So these are the topics that we are going to discuss today. First, we will know what is feedback amplifier. Next, different types of feedback amplifier. After that, their detailed classification. So within feedback amplifier, you can have a question of 7 to 8 marks and a question of 5 marks apart from the MCQs. So this particular video is very important for your examination point of view, semester point of view, so that you can answer the questions easily. So first, what is feedback amplifier? The feedback amplifier can be defined as an amplifier which has feedback lane that exists between output to input. Now, what is feedback? Feedback is a connection that connects output signal with the input signal, right? So, in this type of amplifier, feedback is the limitation which calculates the sum of feedback given in the following amplifier. The feedback factor is the ratio of the feedback signal and the input signal. In any type of system, we use a feedback signal to get a proper output. Unless and until the error between the input signal and the feedback signal is zero, the signal from output gets fed back to the input. This is mainly used to reduce the noise as well as to make the operation of an amplifier. Now here in this picture you can see one circuit of feedback amplifier or one circuit where the input is coming to vacuum tube amplifier and the output is getting out. Whereas this output part is connected with the input through a feedback part. So this type of amplifier can be defined as a feedback amplifier. Negative and positive feedback. Now we will consider about different types of feedback. So what is positive feedback? Let us first know about positive feedback. The feedback in which the feedback energy, either the voltage or current, is in phase with the input signal and thus aids, it's called positive feedback. Whenever the output signal gets fed back to the input and that aids the input signal, that is both the feedback signal and the input signal are in same phase, this will be known as positive feedback. Both the input signal and feedback signal introduces a phase shift of 180 degree, thus making a resultant of 360 degree phase shift around the loop to be finally in phase with the input signal. Here in the figure also we can see that the phase of feedback signal, which is shown by blue line, and the input signal, which is shown by green line, both are in same phase. Though the positive feedback increases the gain of the amplifier, it has disadvantages. What are the disadvantages? It increases distortion, it increases instability, or it increases the chances to become our system to be unstable. It is because of these disadvantages, the positive feedback is not recommended for the amplifier. If the positive feedback is sufficiently large, it leads to oscillation by which oscillator circuits are formed. Yes, so this is all about our negative feedback. The feedback in which the feedback energy, that is either the voltage or current, is out of phase with the input and thus opposes it, it's called negative feedback. As we can see in the figure, the feedback part is connected to the negative terminal and the input part is connected to the positive terminal, and as a result the feedback is opposing the input. In negative feedback, the amplifier introduces a 180-degree phase shift into the circuit, while the feedback network is so designed that it produces no phase shift or zero phase shift. Thus, the resultant feedback voltage is 180-degree out of phase with the input signal. Though the gain of negative feedback amplifier is reduced, there are many advantages of negative feedback, such as stability of gain is improved, reduction in distortion, reduction in noise, increase in input impedance, decrease in output impedance, increase in the range of uniform application, and these are the advantages of negative feedback. So we use negative feedback frequently in amplifier circuits. Now these are the classification of negative feedback circuits. A negative feedback circuit, depending upon the signal, can be of negative voltage feedback or current feedback. Again, negative voltage feedback, depending upon the classification for connection, they can be classified in two types: voltage series feedback, voltage shunt feedback. Similarly, negative current feedback can be also current series feedback and current shunt feedback. So this is the total classification of a feedback amplifier, where the feedback amplifier can be broadly classified into negative feedback and positive feedback. Now, negative feedback can again be classified under voltage and current feedback. Voltage feedback can be of shunt feedback, series feedback, and current feedback also can be of current series feedback, current shunt feedback. Here is voltage series feedback. In this diagram, we can see the connection of voltage series feedback, where the input voltage and the output voltage is getting connected via gain A and feedback circuit beta, which are connected in series. In the voltage series feedback circuit, a fraction of the output voltage is applied in series with the input voltage through the feedback path. This is also known as shunt driven series fed feedback, that is a parallel series circuit. This following figure shows the block diagram of a voltage series feedback, by which it is evident that the feedback circuit is placed in shunt with the output but in series with the input. It's important how a feedback circuit is getting connected with the input, whether it's connected in shunt, in series, depending on that the name itself implies. As the feedback circuit is connected in shunt with the output impedance is decreased, and due to the series connection with the input impedance is increased. So this is all about voltage series feedback. Next is voltage shunt feedback. If the voltage shunt feedback, in the voltage shunt feedback circuit, a fraction of the output voltage is applied in parallel with input through the feedback network. This is known as shunt driven shunt fed feedback. The previous one was shunt driven series fed feedback, that is a parallel prototype. Here both the input and outputs are connected in parallel with the feedback. The below figure shows the block diagram of a voltage shunt feedback, by which it's evident that the feedback circuit is placed in shunt with the output and also with the input. As the feedback circuit is connected in shunt with the output and input, both the output impedance and input impedance are decreased. So in a similar way, we will be having current series feedback and current shunt feedback. In the current series feedback circuit, a fraction of the output voltage is applied in series with the input voltage through the feedback circuit. This is also known as series driven series fed feedback, that is a series circuit. The following figure shows the block diagram of current series feedback, by which it is evident that the feedback circuit is placed in series with the output and also with the input. As the feedback circuit is connected in series with the output and the input, both the output impedance and input impedance are decreased. So students, if you summarize this part, before I go for the last one, current shunt feedback, if we summarize this part, right, we are having 4 types of feedback. One is voltage series, another voltage shunt, next current series, and the next one we will be having current shunt. Now, whenever there is a shunt connection, input and output impedance will get decreased. Whenever there is a series connection with which the feedback will be connected in series, that particular impedance will get increased. That is the first part that we need to remember. The second part, whether it's a series connection or a shunt connection, that will be determined by the connection between input and the feedback portion. How the feedback part is getting connected with the input, that will determine whether it's a series feedback or a shunt feedback. Okay. So the last part, current shunt feedback. In the current shunt feedback circuit, a fraction of the output voltage is applied in series with the input voltage through the feedback circuit. This is also known as series driven shunt fed feedback, that is a series parallel circuit. The below figure shows the block diagram of the current shunt feedback, by which it's evident that the feedback circuit is placed in series with the output but in parallel with the input. As the feedback circuit is connected in series with the output impedance is increased, and due to the parallel connection with the input impedance is decreased. That is what I was telling you, that whenever there is the connection of shunt, the impedances will get decreased, and vice versa, when there will be the connection in series, the impedances will get increased. So this is the total properties for 4 types of feedback circuit. The characteristics are voltage gain for voltage shunt, voltage series, current shunt, current series, voltage gain will get decreased. Bandwidth in both the cases will get increased. Input resistance, whenever there is the series connection, it will be increased. Whenever there is the shunt connection, it will be decreased. Output resistance, for voltage connection, it will be decreases. For current, it will be increasing. Harmonic distortion in both the cases, since we are using a feedback circuit, it will be decreased. Similarly, noise that we are using in feedback circuit, it will be decreases. So in this video, the total video we have covered will cover a question, a long question and a short answer type question from your semester. This voltage and current series shunt feedback, this total is a question that comes every year or every alternate year in the analog electronics question paper. Besides that, the classification of feedback circuit, that will also come. So go through this video more than once, and if you find any difficulties, you can contact me. You can make that questions in the comment section and I will surely answer that. So students, thank you for seeing this video, and we'll see you later. Thank you.